Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another guest speaker series presentation for our Authorpreneur community. I am Laura Thorne, the CEO of Beesties Publishing Company, and we are really excited to have these presentations to offer to you. As a responsible hybrid publisher, we are dedicated to providing not only publishing, editing, helping you get your ideas to finish line services, but we are also here to give unheard of support to our authors and to those that come to us for support. So we have an authorpreneur community that we provide to all of the authors that publish with us. And so that's growing with every book that we publish. And we make sure that not only do our authors have books out there available to the world, but they know how to present them and market them and how to do that, and then support them in various ways doing that. So if you're thinking of publishing something or you've written something and you don't know how to publish it, we're happy to work with you. And then we also have partners who can help you with marketing materials, help you with tours and everything that you need to do. And then we have this authorpreneur community where we meet once a week as a group. And I shouldn't say as a group, we meet once a week. You can come by yourself, you can come, there may be other people, but it's basically open office hours where we can help you with your marketing goals or any specific challenges you might have. If you're writing something and you're stuck in a certain point, we can help you through that. And if you have a book event coming up and you want to talk about how to plan that or how to get people there, we can talk about those things too. And we do that once a week. And then we have these guest speaker events every 2 to 3 months where we invite somebody into the group, allow them to bring their own people with them, and then share how they do things. You can never in this field, once you become a published author, learn enough. There's always somebody doing something that you might say, oh, that's something I never thought of trying. And everybody has a different avenue of how they want to promote their books. So these are great ways for you to learn from, and I learn from them too. So I'm always excited to have them here. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Apple Ann. She is going to be our guest speaker for tonight. And she is excuse me, let me pull up her short little bio and then let her introduce herself the rest of the way. I'm looking at our Substack, not our thing. So Apple Ann is a Chinese American author who started her literary journey in 2017 and published her debut book in 2023. And I have been impressed with all of the things I've seen her doing in such a short time to market and promote. And so I thought, why not have her come to the group and share all the things that she has been doing, because I mean, she's crushing it. So Apple, take it over.
Thank you, Laura. Well, you said, you have a lot of things to learn until you are a published author. I would say you still have a lot of things to learn, even when you are a published author. I'm still learning every day. And I don't think any two authors doing the same thing the same way. So and I'm glad I have this opportunity to share what I have learned. I can't proclaim I'm expert of anybody or any kind, and I'm just sharing what I learned, what the struggles I had. Most of the time, people see from outside, oh, something looks so good, but they don't see what people put effort, frustration behind. So, so I'm going to share what I have learned, and I hope this is a fun session. I hope we can all interactively engage. So if I could share my screen, I have some PowerPoint. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, good. All right. Let's see the screen now. All right, good. That's what we want. So when Laura and Leah suggested a list of topics, and I was thinking like I could talk about something about each of them, but that would be very boring. And I really like to be focused. So I decided, how about we focus on two things that I struggle the most, and I'm still struggling, as you can see from now. I forgot who put the From Life to Legacy here. That looks very blended, but I was really thinking about how to master the story and building some brand. So we'll go with this. Okay, so let me see if I can put this guy a little bit on the side. Okay. So I want to say this is based on my personal experience, and my personal experience is really based on memoir. and something called the autobiographical novels. So these are basically, memoirs about your own story, but autobiographical novels are novels based on people's real lives and almost like autobiography that's about people's real life. And the reason I go with this, there are many reasons, but I think today that's not the purpose. So I'm going to talk about things I really struggle. We live day by day. We have so many things going on. Now, how can you write something that doesn't look like a laundry list? That's boring, but something that readers can feel like connection and can take away and can get engaged and can really like your book. So that's something I want to talk about it. And the other thing I want to talk a little bit about is how to make a name for yourself or how to be recognized in some way. So each of them has some kind of bullet points there, but just really basically some ideas I helped myself to form some talking points. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about this theory I threw out in my pitch email, which the more I think about it, the more I feel like they really fit. So Hertzberg is the person who published this theory back in I think the date was wrong, 59, not 95. 95 is the year I started using his theory. So the theory was rooted in wait a second, I needed to change this because that it bothers me. So this is in 1950 now. I got these two reversed. So the theory actually is based in a field called organizational psychology. He was studying job satisfaction, dissatisfaction, and then he found that whatever most people think satisfaction is the opposite of dissatisfaction, that notion was wrong. And this was a breakthrough. And basically, my study actually later on confirmed that they are actually orthogonal, almost like 90 degrees between them. Anyhow, but what he found is satisfaction, the lack of it is not satisfaction. That is not the same as dissatisfaction. Okay, so this is what he found. And then, so he found, okay, for jobs, we want people to be satisfied, but also we want people to actually moving forward, right? We want people not to be dissatisfied. So he identified a group of factors that contribute to the dissatisfaction. And he called them hygiene factors. Hygiene factors in terms of our health. We have to maintain hygiene in order to be healthy. But having the hygiene factors doesn't mean we will be healthy. The lack of them means we will be unhealthy. I mean, that's the reason he picked up his name. Very, very odd, but actually caught people's attention. And then he found that there are a set of factors that are called motivators because they actually move people to really put their effort, to work hard, to take the honor and the pride. And he wanted people to actually fund these motivators so that they can not just be working, but they actually thriving, contribute further. So these are examples he found. So for example, hygiene factors, which means you must eat them or you get dissatisfied, such as work condition, company policy, job security, salary, and interpersonal relations. It means if your workplace has lack of these factors, people feel dissatisfied. However, if you have them, that does not make people feel satisfied. So that was the key takeaway, key finding he did. Okay, and then he found another set of factors that are called motivators. Okay, and that including achievement. If people feel like they are achieving something, recognition, responsibility, advancement, and even the work itself. So all of these are motivators. So if you are managers, you want to prevent people from dissatisfied, you want to make sure all these other factors are present. So that prevent dissatisfaction. But that doesn't make sure people will work harder. So to make them work harder, feel good, you have to provide the other factors. Okay. So I use this in this theory has been applied in many places. my research started in the 90s when the web just came out. For those of you who know, by the way, I'm a professor in IT field. So the web came in 1993, 94. So my research in this one started in 96. And we're trying to study the website design and evaluation. We want, because there are so many websites coming up. We want to make sure we understand how do you design websites that people would like to stick around. Not just like, okay, satisfied, but they actually want to stay there. And not just like lack of satisfaction. Or which website you want to avoid people to totally abandon you from the beginning, So this became one of my major research streams during my early years. And I got probably more than 20 papers coming out of this in different forms. So that's a lot of effort and so on. But what I recently found about is how about we use this for authorship? So let's see if you guys can identify some of the hygiene factors. What do you think would be the hygiene factors? And what do you think would be the motivators? You want to give that a try?
So this would be a point. Feel free to unmute.
Yeah, you guys can unmute and even put it in the chat window if somebody can monitor it. So what will be a hygiene factor? Like people saw it and immediately they just abandoned.
I think if
Anyone want to try it? Yeah.
it doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good. Yeah, the look is bad. Yeah, very much, very true. What else?
I would say a clear focus.
Okay.
Well, if it's health that we're talking about when we're using the word hygiene, I would think it would be taking care of yourself, being energetic by, exercising, long walks, taking breaks from your work, that kind of thing.
Right. That's the original meaning of hygiene. And Pittsburgh used it in the workplace. And then for job dissatisfaction, he came up with a set of hygiene factors, right? That's what the previous slides was about, work condition, company policies. These are the hygiene factors for the workplace, job satisfaction and dissatisfaction. So I was thinking about, can we apply this to the authorship? Can we identify a set of factors? You've got to be there because these are the basics. If you don't have them, your book sucks. Your book don't even get recognized, right? You don't have any chance whatsoever. So that will be the hygiene factors. The basics has to be there. Hygiene factors, basics have to be for maintenance and so on. But those are not enough. We have to find the motivators, right? That's where you engage people. You get people involved. They are really reading for your books. You have good reviews. They have good word of mouth, word of mouth. Yes, those are the hygiene. Those are the motivators. But we have to identify these hygiene factors first, so we prevent our books from abandoned on the first glance.
Yeah, I think if the typesetting is wrong or off, that can be very off-putting.
Yep. And Gina mentioned the look doesn't look good. That goes to the cover, right? So the cover is the face. The cover look good. Yeah, that's the hygiene. But if the cover doesn't look good, doesn't look professional, out.
Oh, I see.
So typesetting, including even people flip through their typos, their grammar errors, all those look and feel things are now there. People are not even have a deep engagement yet. It's just like on the surface, they don't think it's good. They're out. Because we all have precious time. We have our attention on something else. Nobody wants to waste time and effort on something they don't perceive valuable. So this is what I came up with. See if you agree with me on that. So the cover, the typesetting, the binding, the book has to be bound. Sometimes like a gloss cover, sometimes like paper bound, and then cloth bound and with sleeves and so on. The binding, typos, grammars, awkward sentences, certain pieces missing. Those are just like feel and look and feel kind of factors, right? These are the basics. If you don't get the basics in there, you are out of the game. Basically, that's it. So that's why if you are serious about being a published author or get your book out there, you want to make sure all the basics are covered. You don't want to sacrifice any effort or whatever. You want to sacrifice to make the basics right. However, here's the trick. Just having the hygiene factors does not make your book fly. That's where we have to identify motivator factors. So this is what I identify the motivator factors to engage readers or to make readers see something good about your book. First of all, the story. The story has to be a good story, right? We've been doing a lot of learning about how to write stories, how to construct stories, and so on. And then what is the message or messages the book is trying to deliver? There's always behind everything, there's a message there. And then, is there any theme? Can we identify a theme? And then is the content logical? Is the content seems to be believable? All these factors that you truly kind of hold the reader's attention. And then the emotions. Do they touch our heart? And most of the time, we like something because our heart feel like touched. And these are the things I would say, these get the readers kind of engaged in the way that you get into the reader's head and heart, both their brain and their heart. And this also will tap into their interest. So what I think the rest part of my talk will be focusing on the motivator factors, because these are the ones we're assuming all the things, basic things are taken care of. How do you like your book being regarded by your readers? You know, they don't think it's a good book just because the cover is good, right? Or any of those hygiene factors. So the rest part I'll focus primarily on the things that we really engage reader, really get into their head and their heart. Okay. Anybody have questions before I move on? Okay, I'll take that as no. Anytime you want to say something, just bring up. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Or think about yourself. Why do you read? What is the purpose of reading?
Take me away from my life.
Escape. Yes. Anybody else?
Knowledge.
Yeah, information education. Yes.
I was thinking new ideas, kind of like a self-reflection, you know, put yourself in the character's position and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. So that could be that creativity or entertainment even, right? So somebody, I didn't have time to dig up the statistics. Somebody did a set of surveys about readership's interest or reasons. This is the 3 E's. Education, they have questions, they want to get answers, and then so that they can feel they are smarter, or they want to feel smart. Entertainment, normally these are the things that have unknown ending to get you totally engaged. Like a lot of TV programs, movies, and things like that, they have this unknown ending, so you just want to figure out what's going on. So then you get excited by reading those books. And also escape. We want to escape the reality. We want to escape to a different place we don't know, such as different setting, different era, just different kind of place, different kind of environment. So the readerships are basically divided up by the 3 major reasons. Now, if you look at this carefully, every one of them would have to touch the emotions. Okay, probably in different ways. So my research, I did a lot of psychology research, applied those to IT and how people interact with computers. So we can have emotions immediately, like the first impression was positive, negative. That doesn't have any cognition involved. So that can happen first. So you can have those things happen first, or you can have the emotions come later, like after you reason somebody really doing great work, have a lot of values and so on, you grow liking this person. So that happens afterwards. So emotion and cognition kind of really influence each other. And something stick with you only if both emotion and cognition kind of got touched. So I just focus on the emotions, because that's what the novels and the books get to me, because they touch my emotions. Let alone they definitely have to touch my cognitions. But I think the emotions to me is the more valuable part of it. So you see, you do education, you feel smart, right? You become smart or not, that's a different story. But you feel smart, that's important. And then entertainment, we know that is for fun, it's totally emotional. And then when you escape, Laura, you escape to somewhere else. You either want to experience sorrow, you experience happiness, experience something. That's what the escape is about.